So hi, we meet again, and in this video we are going to take a look into VLAN. So VLAN is nothing but it's nothing but virtual LAN. Practically within a switch, under all systems under a switch is considered to be as one network. But when it comes to but in VLAN, what we do is we connect devices belonging to different networks within the switch. Say of the 24 ports, for example, the first 10 might belong to the 10.0 network, and the next 5 might belong to 20.0 network, and the last remaining networks might belong to 30.0 networks. So yeah, so we make this thing possible through VLANing a switch. So practically what happens is that we divide IP addresses into groups. Those are called as VLAN IDs. So 10.0 IP might come under VLAN 10, and 20.0 networks come under VLAN 20. So by doing this, we can achieve easier, permission oriented tasks within the server, and things like that. So like for 10.0 for VLAN 10, let the network be open, no restrictions. VLAN 20, except for Facebook and YouTube, everything else might be restricted. And VLAN 30, everything is restricted except the intranet resources. So you can just make it simple, and everything will, these rules will apply to all the devices under that particular VLAN. So there are two modes in VLAN. One is called the access mode, and the other one is called as trunk mode. Access mode is basically the we assign that mode to ports which are connected to the hosts, and trunk basically to other switches or to a router, in this case this interface. And also there's one more thing, a couple of more things. It's called inter-VLAN routing and intra-VLAN routing. So we call it as VLAN routing even though the communication may or may not happen within the same switch. So I'll tell you why. Because even if you have to send a packet between this one and this one, in traditional switches what happens is the switch reads the MAC table and it sends it over here. But here what happens is you have to send the packet to switch then forwards it to the router, and the router again forwards it back to the switch with the corresponding address and all those things, and then it again sends it over here. So if routing happens between two devices within the same VLAN, it's called as intra-VLAN routing. If it happens between devices between two different networks, for in this case 10.0 to 20.0, it's called as inter-VLAN routing. And so there's one more thing in VLAN. So this might be this might be under one switch, and there's another switch with similar thing, and it will also have 10.0 and these things. And you can also ping, it would work the same way, that pinging 10.0 network within this switch and another device within the same VLAN in another switch. It just works like it's all in the same thing, and there's no foreseeable delay or operational difficulties. It just works like it's in the same under the same switch, but it's not. So let's get into the configuration. So in this case we have to configure the switch and its port by giving it access. So here the VLAN 0/1 is connected to the router, and the rest of the things are connected to the devices. So we go to CLI, same like configuring router, conf c, and now we sort of declare a VLAN by using this VLAN space 10. This 10, 20, 30 or whatever it is, it's just an ID for the VLAN. And now we identify the interfaces that are within VLAN 10. So interface f0/2. So we go over here, and then we give the access, switch port mode, and we set the mode to access for this, and then we assign and then we have to tell the switch through this port we have to send only a specific VLAN type or address. So in this case, this port, the F02 connection should accept only traffics that are pertaining to VLAN 10. So we do that by switch port access VLAN 10. That's it. And then again, in our case, interface F03 is also connected to VLAN 10. So let's just give it and F04 is connected to another different VLAN. So let's say VLAN 20. Switch port mode access. Sorry, I think I made a typo. Oh yeah, I didn't declare the interface. 0/3. My apologies. Switch port mode access. Switch port access VLAN 20. And then there's one more network, and let's see, configure that under VLAN 30. So F04 will take up only VLAN 30 traffic. Switch port 03, for interface 03 will take only VLAN 20, and interface 2 and 3 will take up only VLAN 10 traffics. It won't take any other traffic, it will just discard it, just like the normal thing. And now we have to configure the trunk. So int F0/1 switch port mode trunk switch port trunk VLAN 30 20 10. Oh, I'm sorry, I think it's just I'm sorry, switch port trunk allowed. So by this, what we say is, here in this port, allow VLAN traffics 10, 20 and 30. This we tell the interface to allow VLAN traffics that belong to the VLAN 10, VLAN 20 and VLAN 30 traffics, so that it would distribute among these things. And that's about it. Oh yeah, and then we have to turn the interfaces on. No, I don't think so. It's necessary. So that's about it. And now let's configure the router. So as we all know, every interface in a router is connected to one WAN, one network. But over here we've got 3 different networks. So what we do is we do something called as encapsulation. We logically divide an interface into different sub interfaces and assign each sub interface an IP, and then we use the .1 queue standard, and then we encapsulate it into the single physical interface. That's what we're going to do. So let's take a look at it. So let's select it as interface F0/0.10. So this is how you divide it, which means you're dividing the interface into 3 things. So this is a subdivision 10, and then we give encapsulation .1 queue, and this one will be the ID of the VLAN. It can be VLAN, and then you assign the address for that particular interface, 2.168.10.2. Sorry, 255.255.255.0, and then again interface F0/0.20 encapsulation .10q.20 IP address 20.2. and interface f0/0.30. Address. No, sorry, my bad. 30. Oh, we forgot to give no shutdown. So this one is up. So enter f0/0.20, no shutdown, interface f0/0.30. We need not give no shutdown to these things, but I'm just habituated to do it. I'm really sorry about it if that ticked you off. So that's kind of done. I'm sorry. I'll just close this thing. Just a minute. So yeah, now everything is green. So if you could see over here, that 0.10 is up with an IP 10.2, 0.20 is up with an IP 20.2, 0.30 is up with an IP 30.2, and all these things are also configured and everything is done. So let's just transfer packets between this and two. Let's see if it's working fine. Just a minute. So it failed right now because we haven't given the default gateway for this thing. It can't be f00's gateway, so this belongs to the 10 VLAN 10. So VLAN 10 runs in an IP, VLAN 10's gateway is 10.2. so that's done. So this one also runs in VLAN 10, so this one's IP will also be 192.168.10.2. This one runs under VLAN 20, so its IP will be 192.168.20.2. That's about it. Similarly, this 2.168.20.2. I'm sorry, that one runs under VLAN 30, so it's 30.2. That's about it. So let's see if we are able to ping now. So now it fails. So yeah, now let's we've assigned the gateway and everything properly, so let's check if it's pinging. Yes, now it's successful. So this is between this one and this one, between same VLANs, it's called intra VLAN routing, and we can see that that's successful, and inter VLAN routing between two VLANs is also successful. So that's about it. Thank you.